I think it's nice to draw a line as well and keep what's important and close to you private.
The song was basically like, is it enough? Is the stuff that I can control enough to sort of block out the things that I can't?
Enjoying life, and I sure as hell enjoyed this weekend.
Well, folks, the celebrity grapevine is buzzing with some juicy gossip. It appears that Joe Alwyn is feeling some kind of way about Taylor Swift's budding romance with NFL star Travis Kelce, and he's not exactly throwing a party to celebrate. In fact, he's pretty much screaming back off from the virtual mountaintops, and it's all shades of complicated. You see, Joe wasn't exactly eager to put in the relationship elbow grease when he and Taylor were a thing. But now that she's moved on to Travis, he seems to be having a little bit of a "I don't want you, but I don't want anyone else to have you either" moment. Yep, celebrity drama at its finest. Let's dive into this sizzling tale and unpack Joe Alwyn's less-than-chill reaction to Taylor Swift's new squeeze, Travis Kelce. But before we get into it, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss out on any new videos. It's free and helps us tremendously in bringing out fresh content for your enjoyment. You know what they say. All good things must come to an end. And that's exactly what happened when Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn called it quits. These lovebirds decided to part ways just a few weeks ago after a solid 6-year run. According to a well-placed source in their inner circle, it all came down to classic differences in their personalities. Now, before you jump to conclusions, let's talk about how this relationship roller coaster played out. Swift and Alwyn had weathered their fair share of storms in the past and managed to patch things up. So their friends thought this love story was just taking a little breather. You know, the classic, we need some space situation. Many believed they would find their way back to each other eventually. But here's the twist. That eventually never actually happened. Turns out, after all those ups and downs, they simply weren't the right jigsaw pieces for one another. And let's be real, haven't we all had that kind of moment? When you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole and finally realize it's just not working. Well, that's exactly what happened here. Kind of like that time you tried mustard on watermelon thinking it would be a culinary masterpiece. It just wasn't. So buckle up, because we're about to dig into the breakup and the intriguing personality differences that led to the love story between Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn. How did it all begin, you ask? Well, it started back in May of 2017, when the world first caught wind of their very quiet romance, which had actually been brewing under the radar for a few months. It's a bit of a mystery exactly when they first locked eyes, but fans, being the Sherlock Holmes-level detectives that they are, have hunches that it may have happened at the 2016 Met Gala. They found plenty of common ground and fell head over heels while Taylor was in her reputation phase, retreating from the world a bit. It was like they were in this cozy little love bubble. Though Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn weren't known for being all about the public displays of affection, their connection was undeniable. Their bond was built on something deeper: art, creativity, and a shared passion for music. Taylor unleashed 10 songs that bore Joe's creative influence, which he worked under the pseudonym William Bowery. Their collaborations include 6 songs on Folklore, 3 on Evermore, and the sweet cherry on top, Sweet Nothing on Midnights. It's clear their bond wasn't just about love. It was about something much more profound. Now let's dive into the elephant in the room: Joe Alwyn and his aversion to the spotlight. Unlike Taylor, who's practically synonymous with fame, Joe has always been a private individual. He preferred keeping his personal life, especially his relationship with Taylor, out of the public eye. And let's be real, being thrust into the global spotlight because of his relationship with one of the most famous pop stars on the planet wasn't exactly his idea of fun. Over time, the weight of Taylor's immense fame and the constant public attention took its toll. What initially felt like quirky differences between them began to grow into noticeable challenges, leading to their eventual separation. Here's where it gets a bit spicy. There were rumors floating around about wedding bells in their future, and it turns out those whispers weren't entirely off base. In fact, they were discussing tying the knot just months before their breakup. But as life often goes, that future just wasn't meant to be. Taylor couldn't see a long-term future with Joe, and so their love story came to a relatively quiet and peaceful end. Not exactly the dramatic Hollywood breakup some might have imagined. Despite the calmness of the split, Joe seemed to be wrestling with his emotions as Taylor moved on with someone new. After all, it's tough when your ex starts a new relationship, especially with someone like NFL star Travis Kelce. While Joe might be keeping his cool on the surface, there's a subtle shift in his emotions. Perhaps he's not angry, but a sense of discomfort and even jealousy seems to be creeping in. It's natural to feel a bit uneasy when you see your ex-partner moving on, especially when that someone new is in the public eye. Let's not forget about the rumors that followed Taylor's breakup with Joe. Soon after the split, speculation arose about her moving on with Maddie Healy from the 1975. But Joe wasn't exactly thrilled about that rumor either. It seemed a bit embarrassing and disappointing to him, especially when it appeared that Taylor was flaunting her new romance so openly. It might have felt like a case of double standards, and Joe wasn't exactly thrilled about it. Sources close to Joe have suggested that he's not someone who airs his grievances in public. He prefers to keep his feelings to himself, but that doesn't mean he's completely indifferent to the situation. Joe apparently feels a need for space and peace, hoping to move on without the public scrutiny that's followed him ever since his relationship with Taylor made headlines. Of course, Taylor is her own person. She isn't one to let others dictate her life, especially when it comes to her love life. After all, she's already shown the world that she's perfectly capable of living life on her own terms. And in her case, that includes her new relationship with Travis Kelce. The paparazzi frenzy around them has been inescapable, but Taylor doesn't seem fazed by it. In the end, it's clear that Taylor is embracing her new chapter with Travis, regardless of Joe's feelings. Love, especially in the world of celebrities, is unpredictable, and sometimes it blooms in the most unexpected places. Take that sweet moment at a Kansas City Chiefs game, for instance, when Taylor shared a kiss with Travis Kelce, a snapshot that made the rounds on social media and had fans buzzing with excitement. Whether on a football field or a concert stage, love seems to find a way to blossom. So what do you think? Is this a love story for the ages, or just another chapter in the whirlwind lives of pop culture icons? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for updates. I post weekly to uncover the secrets of your favorite stars.